Shalom, family trendsetter. Before I continue, I want to give all praise to the Most High Power, Hashem, our creator, the creator of mankind, the creator of human beings. I want to give all praise to you and honor and respect and admiration, whoever you are. I give all praise to you. Now in this video, I want to share a dream that I had last night. I'm going to try my best to recollect the dream, because you know how dreams are. It's like, bits and pieces here and there, but I'm going to try my best to recollect the dream. I believe this dream was a prophetic dream, so I want to share it with y'all, family. Now, in the dream, basically, I was heading towards the post office. I was driving towards the post office like 2 blocks away from my home. And as I turned on the block where the post office is, I should say, there was a long line, an unusually long line of traffic. And I was maybe, say, 15 car length away from a checkpoint. It was like a checkpoint. And I remember getting frustrated and blowing my horn. And people was just, their attention was focused towards the checkpoint. So I got out of the vehicle and I proceeded to go towards the checkpoint to see what was going on, what was holding up the traffic. And I remember coming across 2 Caucasian officers, right? Slave patrol. But they look unusual because they had on like regular officer uniform, but they had on military helmet and it says MP on it. So I'm going to assume that means military police. So again, they had on regular, officer uniform, but they had on helmet that said military police. And I remember there was like a barricade, actually in front of them. That would be, in front of them. Right. So as I approached the officer to find what was going on, I remember distinctly seeing one of them looking towards the other direction. And towards the other direction, there was like maybe about 3,000-4,000 black people literally just standing in the street with their hands stretched forth in the air. It was crazy, family. I kid you not. And I remember asking the other officer what was going on. And he looked at me and he had this look on his face as if he was terrified. And he was trying to tell me, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. I couldn't understand what he was saying. And he was just mumbling. He was just his mouth was moving, but I wasn't hearing what was coming out of his mouth. And I was starting to get frustrated. Like, what the hell's wrong with this dude? Like, why he's not, telling me what's going on? And I remember at that moment thinking, I have to run home and get my wife and kids. I don't know why I felt that way, but I felt the need to run home and get my wife and kids. So because this officer wasn't really telling me anything, I said, let me just run home. I'm going to leave my car where it's at and run home, because it was like a long line, fam. It was like a whole bunch of cars just piled up waiting, like a traffic jam. And as I began to run back home, I find myself couldn't move. It's almost like I'm running, but I'm not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was like running in slow motion, but I'm not moving. It's like my foot is moving. My intention is to run back home, but I'm not going anywhere. And I remember like I was getting real frustrated. Like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Then I heard a voice. This is the first time I heard any voice, okay? Because I don't hear a voice from God. Nobody hears from God. We're on a prison planet, cut off from the Most High Power, but that's for another video. But I remember hearing a voice in my head saying, stop running, stay where you at, stand still. And I was stubbornly, running and continue to run. And the voice was real stern, stop and stand still. That's how, that's the voice in my head. And I remember getting real scared and I stopped and I turned back around towards the barricade. And it was like, almost like I was compelled, fam. Like something was drawing me back towards the barricade. And as I started to walk back to the barricade, I asked the officer, I said, can I pass? Can I get through? He said, oh, sure, absolutely. And I was kind of like, I guess, taken back, because I was surprised that he allowed me to go through the barricade. So as I began to walk through the barricade to head to the group of people, like I said, about 3,000, 4,000 people with their hands stretched forth to heaven, like all black people. I didn't see not one Caucasian, not one Hispanic. It was all black, melanated people. And as I began to approach them, I heard my daughter saying, "Daddy, Daddy." And I'm looking around for her, and I seen like a little hand just came out of the crowd. And for some reason, I recognized her hand. I don't know. I just recognized her hand. And I ran to her, and I was like, "What are y'all doing here?" And she said, Daddy, don't you know? Don't you know? And I said, where's your mother at? And she said, she's over there. Well, I said, over there where? And I'm looking for, I couldn't see her, but I guess she blended in the crowd. And she was like, come with me, look at this. You got to see this, Daddy, you got to see this. And I'm like, see what? And when I looked up, family, oh my goodness, it was some beautiful lights. Now, it's not what you see on your screen. It actually looked like sun rays. You ever seen sun rays before? Kind of looked like sun rays, but the lights were different color, beautiful color, right? And it was almost like it was glowing. All of a sudden, like that particular area became dark, but the light just lit up the whole area, and it was so beautiful. And all these people were just had their hands stretched forth to the heavens. And then my wife came around and she said to me, you know, like she was very, very happy. I was scared because I didn't know what was going on. And she said, do you see it? Do you see it? I said, see what? She said, you don't see them? You don't see them, how beautiful they are? And I said, no. And I looked up, but when I looked up in the light, my eyes was blinded. Like I couldn't look into the light. And she was looking clearly in the light. Everybody else was looking except for me. I wasn't able to look into the light. And I said, I can't see what you're seeing. I see the light, but what are you seeing? She said, they are beautiful. They're beautiful. They're here. They're here. They're here. And I said, who they who? And she said, them, they came for us. And I said, for real? And she said, yeah. And I said, finally. I just kept saying, it's almost like I knew what she was talking about. I kept saying, finally, finally, finally. And then I turned around, family, and I looked back towards the other, you know, the other people, like the other cars, like there was, you know, where I started out from. I looked back and there was a whole lot of fire, like literally coming. It's almost like atomic bomb exploded, and it was like a big, I would say, I can't even explain it, but it's like it was just fire. It wasn't like a nuclear bomb explosion. It was just a whole bunch of fire, and you see these people standing out of their car and they screaming and they crying, and I said to myself, what? Is this for real? Does hell really exist? Is this hell? Are those people in hell? And I remember my wife saying to me, don't look at them. Don't look at them. Just keep focusing on the light. They're here for us. They're here for us. Keep focusing on the light. And I couldn't help myself. I kept looking back, and I had this spear. I had this my heart just got very heavy, family, because I felt sorry for these people. I don't know who these people were. I didn't recognize if they was white or not, but I remember these people was engulfed in fire. Right? And then I remember she saying, just keep looking. Let's keep looking at them. Keep looking at them. Don't worry about the people behind us. And then I fell on my knees and I threw my hands in the air and I started to pray. I said, I started to pray to the Heavenly Father. And I said, please forgive me if I have blasphemed against you. I've said some things. I don't know if I was right for saying it. Please forgive me. Is this the reason why I can't see what my wife is seeing? And as soon as I said that, it's like whatever blindness that was occurring when I look in the light, I was able to see these beings, family. I don't know. I can't really explain them, but it was like silhouettes and it was beautiful. It kind of reminded me of the experience that I had when, anyway, I'm not going to talk about that because that's going to, But anyway, I seen these silhouettes, like it was like 7 or 8 of them, but they was real tall. And they had this beautiful, it's kind of hard to explain, but they had this beautiful aura. Like how, they had some beautiful lights around it, but I couldn't really see what they looked like, but I seen the silhouette, but it was huge. It was tall. And it was coming out of the, what I would refer to as a sun ray, but it wasn't sun. It wasn't the sun. It was this light that was coming down from the heavens. And it was coming out of the heavens. And I remember getting up off my knees and trying to walk towards them. And one of them actually came ahead of the others. And he stand up and he had his hand on his hip, like both hands on his hip. And he was just looking around at everybody. And everybody started to cheer and laugh. It wasn't no crying. It was just a bunch of laughter and everybody was cheering. And I was like, oh my God, they really are. I said to myself, oh my God, they really are here for us. They really are here for us. I think that's what I said to myself. And in closing, family, I don't know what happened, but the dream just ended because for some reason somebody made a noise in the room and I jumped out of my sleep and I got very angry because I wanted to continue the dream. But that's what I dreamt about, family. I believe that this year might be our redemption. I believe that they're coming for us. And this is why you see this distraction with this coronavirus. I may continue with this particular story on another video because it's crazy. With that, family, I say shalom because I'm running out of video time.